Hey guys, if you like this content, I would greatly appreciate it if you guys like the video and subscribed to my channel. It helps make these videos worth it going forward.
Hey guys, Altcoin Sherpa here with a crypto market review. As always, this is not financial advice. I am not an expert. Do your own research. Okay, so it's good to get back and doing some videos. I'll just review Bitcoin and Ethereum today. Uh, Today, I just want to talk about the overall price action, and in my opinion, this current price action is totally normal. Um, what I have here marked on this chart, and this is BTC USD on the 1 day, um, is just an example of what happens after you see mass liquidations and these big wicks that Bitcoin is known for and crypto is known for, and the following price action after. So you'll see this is back in February of 2021. This was kind of like getting close to the kind of midterm top at this point where we hit 58K, and you can see that we initially hit like this big nasty wick down, like 20% down. In crypto, that's like totally normal. And if you can't stomach that, then you should find something else to trade. Just go back to stocks or something. But you'll see this big wick down, big capitulation, decent recovery. Price bounced right back up, and then we saw price go back down and test that wick and even break it below in early March. Same deal back in later March. Again, you see kind of like this initial 12% wick, not as dramatic as they have been in the past, but again, you'll see that wick and then price breaks down below it. Once again, you'll see another big wick, another big downtrend, 20% over the span of just a few days, and specifically in that one wick, 16%. Good recovery as you normally see, followed by price coming back down, taking that wick out and then bouncing. And again, this is the infamous 60K to 30K wick down. This was like mass liquidation event. You can see massive sell volume, and price eventually kind of recovered short term and then bounced below it, and then a nice recovery period all the way back up. And another one on the way up was the September wick down, another 20% wick down. Again, decent recovery, followed by price coming back down below it and then bouncing back higher. So what we saw recently was this big wick down from like 55K or so down to the low 40s. And this entire price action is very normal. If you can see back at what happened previously, you saw that price, makes this initial wick, makes a lower high, consolidates, and then comes back down close to those levels. This is very standard and very normal price action. So personally, I'm bidding 44K to 43K or so. Um, I'm expecting price to get back down there eventually. I don't know when it will come. It's possible that it doesn't, break that wick, and 42 is just like the high. But I certainly think that price could come back down here. And this does not mean it is super bearish by any means. This is just totally normal price action. Um, After you see price, make these big nukes. And if you scroll down to lower time frames, this is really the juice that you want to study. It has the same pattern over and over and over again. Is you'll see this mass liquidation wick down where everybody gets wiped out. Decent recovery, chop, 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 chop. Some sort of lower high, come back close to those lows, and then either break it in reverse, or like it's like this is like where it happened here. It broke below this wick at 42.8K, traded below it, and then reclaimed it and went higher. um Once again, here you see this was another wick down in April 2021. Big wick down, lower high, breaks below the wick, trades below it, and reclaims it. And this was a bearish market structure too. It's also important to understand the overall context of the chart. Like at this point, this is a bearish market structure, so it's going to make the overall lower high and then just nuke lower. Whereas this right here, this was kind of like this bullish market structure after it made a higher low. So therefore, you expect a higher high to be made after that point. So again, context and overall market structure on higher time frames really matters in terms of what you expect to happen after this low is formed. Um, So yeah, as I said, this is like totally normal price action. I'm still expecting price to trade kind of in this 44K area eventually. Again, it doesn't mean it's super bearish. It means it's totally normal. Price needs to fill out this inefficiency, and I expect it to form some sort of higher low and then go higher. Um, Alternatively, it also takes a long time for price to really recover after these big moves moves down. The bigger the move down, typically speaking, the longer it takes to resolve and chop and consolidate. So the classic example would be the um, 6K to 3K range back in 2018, 2019. This overall range took months to resolve. So right here, I mean, yeah, like 140 days or whatever. Like price traded in this range, accumulated, and then went higher. Um, And it depends on the context of the liquidation and big move down too. Like this overall March move, the historic, March 2020 move, this did not need to accumulate nearly as long because of how dramatic this drop was from 10K to 3K or whatever, or 10K to 3.5 or whatever. Um, Contextually, this was worse than the 6K to 3K. This right here was just like absolutely a massive shakeout, and so many liquidations got collected, so much money got collected on this move down that we didn't need to range. Just kind of had this vertical accumulation period, and then it just chopped around. I mean, it did consolidate for many more months after that, and then obviously went from 10K to 60K very quickly. But what I'm trying to say is, after this recent move from 60 to 30K, it chopped around for about 2.5 months or so. And this, again, this is pretty normal to see this consolidation period. Again, after this move in September, it took another uh, 3 weeks. And after this move here, I'm expecting another pretty much, I wouldn't be surprised at all to see this chop around for like an entire month. I would not be surprised at all to see this just chop, chop, chop until the end of December, and then it finally makes its move. So again, this is pretty normal price action. I'm just expecting more crabbing, more consolidation, more very choppy price action overall. So to briefly go over my plan as well. My plan, I'll just swipe this. I do believe a higher low is forming now compared to this low here. This was like the last low established. So I believe that this higher low will form here. And as you can see, this is already a higher low. If these lows hold on 42K on high time frame charts, so I believe that we will see some sort of low form, a lower high, and at that point, this is really the key for me, guys. This is the trigger. I expect a lower high to form compared to like these highs, but established back in November, and I'll look for where the low is established. If we see a higher low established, so something like this, um, and then higher, then obviously everything is good. If we start trading below and we break this 42K chart or 42K lows on high time frame charts, to start trading below it, then I'm just exiting all markets, and then I'm expecting this to be a lower high and then a lower low. So at that point, that's just to me a bearish market structure. Confirmed, and then I'm just going to exit the market at that point. I will be de-risking my coins from 55 to 60K. I do believe that we hit 55 to 60K before we hit any new lows. So if we just go straight to 30K, like 35K from here, I'm going to be very, very surprised for several reasons. We did liquidate a lot of people on this move down. We need fuel for this move down. The only way I see this happening is if the global uh, macro equity markets like just shit the bed. But other than that, I think that everything else is going to be okay. So I'm just going to see where these lows are established after it makes the lower high. I still am very confident that price will chop around in this current area. Maybe it hits 43, 44, maybe 42 again. Who knows? But I don't expect it to go into the 30Ks on high time frame charts at all. Before we hit a lower high, like we could hit a lower high and then go there. That's certainly possible, but until that point, I'm still looking to see where the low is established. Let's briefly look at ETHUSD. ETHUSD looks, to me, it still looks like a better chart than Bitcoin. it wouldn't surprise me at all to see kind of this um, inefficient move filled out a little bit. This like long wick. It's already filled out most of the way, but I would want to see it make some sort of weird bottom and then just continue. But the chart itself looks pretty good. As I said before on my last video, just all about Ethereum. Ethereum has this weird price action where it's literally just like this vertical accumulation, um, where it just kind of grinds up, like kind of like this. Like, it's very kind of unusual to see that type of price action. But ETH does it, and to me, this is still like pretty strong. ETH looks like it's getting bought up, and some areas that I would look to buy personally. The 200-day EMA barely missed on this BitMEX chart. I mean, it might have hit on like other charts, Kraken or whatever. If you look at the high time frame chart, everything still looks fine to me. On the weekly, this weekly level at 4,000 really looks, it's still holding above. It is getting tapped frequently, but I wouldn't want to see the weekly close below this 4,000 area. That to me would be pretty scary. Or 3950 or 39, like, kind of like that 3,900 area. I wouldn't want to see price close below there, but to me the structure is still intact. I wouldn't be surprised to see this form some sort of low and then continue higher. So I know those are like really brief thoughts on Ethereum, but to me, this is still like a bullish chart. It still looks better than Bitcoin. I wouldn't be surprised at all to see Ethereum lead the crypto markets in the short term. And then once Bitcoin starts to really run hard, then it will take back the liquidity. But anyways, those are kind of my thoughts on the market right now at this point. I'm not bearish yet. I still am bullish. So let me know what you guys think.